think that QPR is going to finish second. Obviously, I don't think they will. So I think I think you'll need. If I'm saying they won't, what additions do you think you'll need? Even if you think you're going to finish second, what additions do you need to get you to second place? Like in the transfer window, is there any players that you think you can steal from the Championship? Players come the Prem that need more game time, or players from the lower leagues? What's your opinion?
So we've already signed two. We loaned Dion Sanderson from Wolves, defender, to just add a bit more depth, and we added David Marshall, Scotland's keeper from
goalkeeper,
the Euro
right?
qualification, from Derby. For some reason, they wanted to let him go as he was their third choice, but he's come in and he's got 3 clean sheets in 4 games and only conceded 1 goal. So
he's come in as your first choice?
Only because Seny Dieng's AFCON.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So our sub was Jordan Archer, another Scotland international. He played his first cup game after Seny left, and I think he dislocated his shoulder saving the winning penalty save in a shootout against Rotherham.
That's a good way to go.
But we're still in the market for a few players. Apparently, I still think we're light at defence. We got 3 centre backs, 2 of which have played every minute of the season so far, and then we've got Sanderson and Jimmy Dunn that we signed from Burnley. Kind of, I guess they're going to rotate, but we don't have much behind that. So I think we need at least 5 centre backs going into the second half of the season. Who that could be, I'm not entirely sure who's going to be available this late. But we also need another creative player, right? We've got Willock, we've got Chair coming back from AFCON as well. But we need another one for a bit more creativity when teams now come and sit against us. At the start of the season, teams underestimated us, thought we were going to be 17th or whatever, like we've been in the last 5 years. And we've blown a few teams away and we've proved ourselves to be consistent. So the player we're going for, it looked like we were in for Tom Lawrence from Derby.
From Derby.
It seems like him and Rooney have done a pact, like they'll stay till the end of the season and see if they can get them out of relegation. Because Rooney turned down the Everton interview as well, didn't he? So it looks like that's off. The one we're in for now is Jamie Patterson at Swansea. He was at Bristol City and I think Forest before that. He's 30 now, but he's always been one of those players that just gets goals and assists from the wing. So you can never be too disappointed adding someone like that to your squad. He signed a short-term contract in the summer and then said, if I prove that I can get in the first team, then we'll talk about extending it, but upping the wages. And I think he's their top assister and second top scorer. And they said, we'll extend it, but we won't up your wages. So he pretty much just said, I'm not playing for you anymore. That's one possible. And that would make a big difference, I think. We got quite a lot. I mean, we got 3 strikers that are scoring goals when they're fit. We got Andre Gray.
You got Andre Gray, mate.
Lyndon Dykes and Charlie Austin. I think that's plenty of firepower for the league. So, I'm pretty happy with the squad all round, though, to be honest.
So do you think you'll push anything through over the line tomorrow?
I still think we will get that attacking player. I don't know if it'll be Patterson or someone else, but the one I was really disappointed we let go, though, was that Lewis Baker went to
proper
Stoke.
Player, Lewis. Yeah, proper player.
And, I think when Chelsea are getting rid of players of that calibre and they're coming to our league, we've got the advantage of saying you don't even have to move house. Just come train 5 minutes down the road, right? I don't understand why we're not saying to him, come this way, it's worth, the extra wages and you don't have to live in Stoke.
Yeah. It's true. Cool. All right.
Let's talk about some real stuff. Let's forget about the Championship. Let's talk about some real players and some real football teams. Okay.
All right, let's just flip that around. Obviously, your team, Aubameyang, is I think it seems as if he wants to go to Barcelona. Is quite keen on the transfer to Barcelona. Do you think you're going to get? Do you think?
Wait, what did you? Sorry, I didn't hear what Rob said.
No, it's Addy. Addy's in it.
I said it's a step up.
It's a step up.
Moving to bigger and better.
No, but it is a step up. It's a step up.
Yeah. Do you think you're going to get a striker before?
No, I don't. No, I don't think we're going to get. I don't think we're going to get a striker. And so, I think it's absolute nonsense. I think it's absolute nonsense to let Auba go on loan and to only have Laka, who's not a goal scoring centre forward. We're gonna have to keep Eddie if we let Orba go, but that doesn't make sense because Eddie's not a goal scoring centre forward in the Premiership either. So for me, it doesn't make sense. I just need to know what he's done, and then maybe when I know the severity of what he's done, will I be able to make sense of how he's being treated right now? But for me, I see it as unjust and everything because all I've heard is lateness, so I haven't heard nothing to justify why he's being. Sorry, Rob, go on, Rob.
Did you not hear the rumor?
No.
I think your lawyers want me to say allegedly about 5 times.
Is it something to do with Arteta's missus or something?
Yes.
Yeah, allegedly. And so I don't want to touch on that, but yeah, allegedly.
Which,
allegedly.
To be fair, if that's true and I'm Arteta, he's gone. I don't care if I have to pack him off to Saudi Arabia myself. Yeah. He's getting out of my face.
100%. Wow. But I only want to comment on.
I thought that was a joke. I didn't know whether. I would say allegedly, but I just
apparently had some legs. Apparently had some legs, but you just never know.
You never know. So.
Oh wow. Oh, Bama Black Light Young. Is that how it is now, bro? The gap is missing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. Arsenal. Yeah, I don't see any truth in that whatsoever. Me personally,
I thought it was a joke. I honestly thought it was a joke. I didn't
like the Zaha and Moyes' door.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what. But you know what? It was what's his name? Was it David? The guy from Athletic that released that, right?
David Ornstein.
Yeah.
So that's why I was a bit confused. I was thinking, is quite.
He's a credible.
Yeah, he's a credible person. But at the same time, I thought maybe someone screenshot the thing and put it under his like Twitter or something. That's what I thought.
That's the world we live in now.
So I won't be surprised. What's real? But if it is actually him that brought that up, then that must have some leg then, because it's quite credible, to be honest with you.
So we'll see how that goes. I mean, if he goes to Barca tomorrow, I wish him all the best. I'll be upset, me personally, but I wish him all the best if he goes, and I hope he smashes it up there. My club's got bigger problems, as in we're not fucking getting anyone in, bro. It's fucking...
the squad is thin with the amount of billions of people you've let go.
Bro, it's just off. Like I said in a lot of my group chats, because a lot of my group chats, everyone's been moaning about the players, but with me, I'm one of the fans that's wanted the overhaul for years now. So I'm actually not upset at the players that were letting go. The players were letting go, like the Chambers, the Kolasinacs, the Mustafis, the Bellerins. I am absolutely cool with that. No problems whatsoever. Get rid of the deadwood, as much of them as possible. We let Callum go to Aston Villa, didn't even bat an eyelid. Wish you all the best with Steven Gerrard, Callum. Yeah, hope you have a great career. My thing is, okay, we'll get rid of the deadwood, but then, like you said, Ade, the squad becomes thin, but you knew the squad was going to come thin because you would have had the plan at the start of January. Yeah. These are the players we can let go. These are our targets. We have to bring them in. And if we don't bring in our A-list players, then what's the B and the C? Or maybe Arteta's gone, I don't want B and C. If I don't get A, I'll be happy with the squad that I've got. But then that squad squad doesn't get you. I think we went into the season thinking we finished 8th twice. If we finish 7th or 8th, 7th or 6th is good. Like I said, if we finish 7th. But how the season's panned out with you guys flopping and Leicester not even being in it and Tottenham changing their manager, top 4 is viable, isn't it? So whatever the thinking was going into January, for me, it had to shift into, okay, top 4 is viable. So we have to get players in that may be able to help us achieve it. And if tomorrow comes and we don't sign anyone, then we've just fucked over all the good work we've done in the summer, if you ask me.
Fingers crossed.
Is it not worrying, though, that Arteta's starting to get rid of the players that he brought in as well, though? Because Mari was his signing and he's out the door to Udinese on loan, right? Are you still trusting that process? If he's not trusting himself?
For me, it's not worrying because my manager's on work experience, Rob. And when you're work experience, you're new to something, you can mess up. You can mess up, Rob. It's okay. All of us have started new jobs. When we started new jobs, we wasn't as competent as we are now. So I'm okay if he signed someone don't work. Hey, fine, good. Go out the window. He signed Ben White. You know what I'm saying? He signed a couple other players, and it's working out for them. But we're not doing no activity, so let's move on, man. We're not doing no activity. Moving over to the other red side.
All right, moving over to the red side. Obviously, everyone's heard the news today about Ade's son. Allegedly, we're gonna say this word quite a few times.
Please, guys, anyone that's listening, this is not actually Ade's son. This is actually not.
He's allegedly my son.
yeah.
No, you know what?
I don't want people sending Ade hate mail.
You know what? No. Joke aside, because we can't laugh about this thing. Yeah, we can't laugh. Joke aside, but But obviously, given what's happened with Mason today, we'll go into it in a bit more detail.
Mason Greenwood, listeners, not Mason Mount. Mason Greenwood.
Mason Greenwood. I think if there was aware, if they knew about this, then Martial will still be at United right now. So I think the only thing that's going to happen, I don't think we're going to let Jesse Lingard go, because we're quite thin up top now. Because if let's say Lingard goes up to Newcastle, then all we're going to have up there is just Rashford,
the two 90-year-olds,
Rashford and Sancho, and then obviously Elanga if every time Elanga comes in. So I think we're quite short up top now. But I think it's too late. We're not going to bring anyone in now. I think the only thing we're going to do is just going to stop Jesse from going anywhere. Or do you think anything will happen, Ade?
No, I don't think we're buying anyone. I don't even think we even tried to do anything this January. I don't think we had any meetings whatsoever about anything apart from letting people go. It's a shame if they don't let Lingard go, because I still feel that if he stays, he's not going to play more than 90 minutes in total in the Premier League from now to the end of season, regardless. I think they should still let him go. I don't think we need him. He can still probably do a job, but I don't see the managers playing him or anything. Obviously, we've let a few people go out on loan. I think it's good to set people free. Can't be keeping people locked down.
Who've you let out? Sorry, who've you let out on loan?
So we've let out
Van der Beek should be going today.
Diallo, Van der Beek should be going.
And apparently,
that's free. Phil Jones might go
too. Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Bordeaux.
Yeah. Bordeaux.
Rob, so Phil Jones, down at QPR. What are you saying?
I'm all right.
Ade, as you were.
So I think that's four out the door. But yeah, with this Mason situation, it's a tough one. When I heard it doing the rounds, I was just like shit, because that pretty much could be the end of his footballing career.
Yeah, 100%.
But obviously, allegedly, but if he's done it, then there's nothing. There's no argument. There's nothing around that. And obviously, it was when I first heard it, it was the assault that I was hearing. But then obviously they've arrested him for assault and the other thing. And then so obviously, if he is guilty, then once upon a time, he was the future.
Yeah, like in terms
we're not buying on.
Yeah, in terms of that, look, the guy's just a complete idiot. I think, I'm not sure if you guys seen that actual, the clip, the audio, but I couldn't even listen to it because it was so disturbing. It's on
I couldn't open it. I didn't open it. I just looked at the pictures.
I couldn't even listen to it. I heard like 2 seconds of it and I had to turn it off. It's the guy's got problems. If allegedly, if it's him, whatever it is so disturbing. Even the 2 seconds I heard, I had to turn it off straight away. Whatever happens, it deserves to get prosecuted for it, and that might be the end of his career. And it's a shame because he obviously has the talent. But I think at the end of the day, we need to stop saying it's a shame, because at the same time, the female herself has to carry this trauma throughout her whole life. So a lot of the time, they tend to focus on the footballer itself. But if he did do it, then he get whatever is coming to him, and hopefully she gets whatever help that she needs from it, man. Because, bro.
Yeah, I think it just shows us that there's so much more. Obviously, us watching them play football is the tip of the iceberg in terms of their lives. Yeah. We don't know all the stuff that's going on behind the scenes. Because remember, a lot of the times when he's not getting picked by England, we're like, what's happening? But there must be, obviously this probably wasn't part of it, but there might be other situations or other issues that they've seen that we're not privy to. And yes, it's just crazy, because obviously he's not like a Joey Barton that you're just expecting drama to follow him all the time. But even people that look as if they're young, they have issues. No, I'm not even trying to justify anything, but obviously we're not seeing everything out on the pitch. But yeah, just hope that whatever happens, he gets the help he needs to like him fix up. Really, I don't even know what terminology to use.
Yeah, to rehabilitate.
Yeah,
because I think he, like as I said, I'm with you, Adam. I'm not going to try and make no excuse for him, but it sounds disturbing. It sounds like a man that needs help. That 100%. He sounds as if he's a man that needs help. Because if anyone ever does listen to the audio, you won't be able to listen to the whole thing.
I did.
Rob Ham, did you guys listen?
I watched the whole thing. Yeah.
What was your people? You gory. Ham was just eating ice cream. Like,
it was the first thing, but I want to know what Rob. I actually want to know Rob's thoughts on this. So,
yes, I mean, there's been issues with him in the past, like you said, Addy. He's like not made it to England squads, and him and Foden got themselves in trouble, for stuff around bringing women into hotels, and you just wonder how much that seemed like when that was in the news, like an innocent thing, like two young guys away, you're in a hotel, you're locked away. It seems like an innocent thing. They just had some, single girls come join them and blah, blah, blah. And then you look back at those things now with this kind of tainted light of what's happened since. And you think, was that really as innocent as it sounded? Was he supposed to be, doing something else? And there's a really weird, I don't know if it's real or not, but there was a statement I read that was supposedly from her dad.
Oh my God. I was going to touch on that. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah. You guys as fathers, if you were thinking about that kind of stuff happening around your family, you'd want blood. And it would seem like an apology on his behalf. It was really strange, which again just makes me think there's probably more to it than just
100%.
the clip and the pictures. So if it's showing what we think it shows, then lock him away and throw away the key, because there's not much coming back from that. But it seems like there's probably a few more layers to unpick first before we understand everything that's happened.
Yeah, man. No, so I wasn't eating ice cream when I saw it. I was buzzing for football today, innit? Because this week was the first week that I wasn't hanging for my weekends for football. So the last 2 weekends I've gone to football with like a massive headache because I've been out like with my mates last week, with like my mates the week before. So this week I just like, cool, I'm not going that. Like sort myself out, cool. And then woke up this morning, set my alarm, but like I woke up like 3 hours before my alarm. That's how excited I was for football. Then I woke up again like an hour before my alarm. Yeah. So I thought, what the fuck's wrong with me, bro? Like it's like my first game I'm ever gonna play. So then I just said, fuck, I'm just gonna stay up in it. And then my phone pinged. I thought it was my alarm. I was like, wait, I swear I turned this off, and it was the notification in it. As I opened it, my initial reaction was, I hope it's not true. That was my initial reaction because of how much fondness I have for Mason Greenwood as a footballer. I don't know Mason Greenwood, the man. The footballer, how much fondness I have for him. Like I was on the pod saying he might be one of England's greatest talents just because the talent and the ability that he possesses at that age and how mature he was on a football pitch. But it just shows that if this is true allegedly, then he's probably the most immature man that we've come across for his actions, because what he's done to be chilling to people like, I know you said fathers, Rob, but even us that don't have fathers, that want to be fathers later, like you would never want anything like that to happen to any one of your offsprings. I got a goddaughter. I wouldn't want nothing like that to happen to her. So Mason, if it is true, is definitely disturbed. Another thing it highlights is this happens in society every day. Mason's a footballer. I plays for Manchester United, arguably the biggest club in the world. So it's gonna get highlighted to the heavens, isn't it? But this happens in our society. And last point, whatever does happen to him, whether he is prosecuted, whether he is found guilty or whatnot, I think Ade hit the nail on the head when he said he just needs to go for some rehabilitation. Whatever it is, he's got problems. This is not the first problem that he's had. He's definitely got problems. It's Man United's loss in terms of the talent of the player. The man shouldn't be associated with Man United if this is right. You shouldn't want anything to do with him if it's right. But I say Man United's loss as in what the ability that player had could have been Man United's number 9 for the next 10 years or whatnot, and could have done what Wayne Rooney done for them. But it's a shame that the footballer and the footballing side of things, we won't get to see if he is found guilty, because Mendy's on a charge not too dissimilar to this as well, innit? So I'm sure Greenwood's will be just as heavy, or if not heavier, from the videos and audio that we've seen. So I hope, even though I'm an opposition fan, and it's very divided on here and whatnot. Like I said, the footballer, I got a lot of time for the footballer, but the man, after what I've seen today, I got no time for him. Man. He's a disgusting human being. If what we've seen is true, man.
Yeah, that about sums it up. Let's just go into any other signings. Obviously, like Liverpool signed Diaz. I'm gonna actually get Rob's thought on this one because the guru is here today. Why not? why not get your thoughts on it? What you think?
Come on, Fabrizio Romano. Tell me. Here we go.
I won't try it in an Italian accent, but he's actually someone I've not seen a huge amount of live, like full 90 minutes, which I think you need to know what they're like. But
He's in the Champions League games and that.
Yeah, it's just odd games here and there. I haven't caught as many Porto games over the last couple of years as I normally do. But from the clips of the highlights, it looks like he's exactly what Liverpool like and need. And their front players are all coming to the end of their peak at the same time, right? Firmino, Salah, and Mane are all reasonably similar age. So they've got Jota in, who's bringing that down and forcing Firmino out. And to me, this looks like putting a bit of pressure on Salah as well to say, look, we got guys coming in that can take your spot if you don't want to sign for the money we want you to. So I wonder if maybe this will be his motivation to find a compromise and stay there in an exciting new look strike force.
Yeah, he looks good, man. He looks good from the clips that we've seen. I was at football today with some Liverpool fans and they're pretty excited, man. They're pretty excited, but I don't think it's Salah. I think it's the opposite. I think it's the pressure on.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was gonna say that too. Yeah, I was gonna say exactly.
I think Klopp looks at his front three as Diaz, Jota, and Salah.
Yeah. I think Diaz is going to take a bit of time. So I've actually followed Diaz for a little while. So I used to use Porto on FIFA. And so I came across him and his ability, even like on the game, it made me like check him out in the league as well. And he's definitely got the ability. I'm guessing he comes across as a cheaper version of Rafinha.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, because I thought Rafinha was dead on that.
I thought they were going to get him. Yeah, I thought they were going to get him.
If you wanted someone that was ready and tested,
played in the Premiership,
in the Premier League, you would go for him. But I'm guessing they don't want to spend that money, and I'm guessing that's why they've gotten Diaz now. Once the competition started to pick up, but yeah, he does. He'll definitely need to fill out, but he's definitely got the raw ability that I believe Klopp can mold into a good player.
Yeah,
I thought they might get Bowen as well, though. I thought that was going to be an option because he works off the ball as well. For Premier League.
If he comes, he'll be a squad player. Nothing more.
Can we just laugh at? Yeah. Can we just laugh at Spurs? Just laugh at Spurs missing
they
out.
They got Bentancur and Kulusevski. Wait, Rob, if we want to laugh at Spurs, I'll just laugh for the whole episode. I'll just keep laughing.
Don't get him started, Rob, mate.
But no, I'll say one good thing.
It's been a good episode for Spurs so far.
I'll say one good thing. I do like Bentancur. So I think he's neat and tidy. I don't know if he's what they needed. I think they need a creative player. Bentancur is not a creative player. But I like him as a midfielder and what he does. Like he can look after the football. He's fine with that. He'd be comfortable, pass through the lines. So he's a good player. I don't know if he's a fit for Tottenham, but hey, I'm happy. They got Kulusevski. He scored like 6 goals in 2 years.
That's the thing. Have they strengthened themselves, or they just bought in?
No, they haven't. Listen, Ade, Conte went into Daniel Levy's room and went mad and said, "Listen, I just want fucking players. Just go to the Italian league. I know the league. Give me some fucking players."
No, but I think you guys touched on this a few weeks ago when I think I mentioned this. I like who can they really bring in? And then the thing you guys said is they don't have to bring anyone quality. They just have to be bringing better than what they've got.
What they have.
And that's probably what they're doing. They're just bringing better than what they have. And
I think
Kulusevski's better
already.
I don't think Kulusevski's better than what they got. Nah. Maybe a midfield, Bentancur is better than the midfielders, but Kulusevski's not better than like Moura and Son.
What's the plan? What's the plan though? Why are they in for Diaz and Kulusevski, who are both wide players, when they're looking to play a wing-back system? Surely, like what he played at Inter and won titles with was 2 strikers.
Rob,
Okay,
don't make too much sense. You're not making too much sense.
Wait, Rob, they wanted baby oil, but they didn't get baby oil. He went to Barcelona. So they wanted baby oil to play out, and they didn't get him either. I'm telling you, Conte went mad on Daniel Levy, and Daniel Levy just called Juventus and said, "Yeah, who are you selling? Those two. I'll take them. Take them now."
That was part of the reason that Traore went to Barcelona, though, is because he couldn't be convinced to play wing back. So if you're going to buy a winger to play wing back, why are you buying all these other wingers when you don't want to play a winger and you've already got like 4 wingers in the squad already? It's crazy.
It's Tottenham. They don't. It's like Chiellini said it. It's Tottenham. It's in the history of the football club.
I don't even have the opportunity to say this.
That club will never make sense, bro. Conte will leave soon. You know, he only signed 18 months. He will be out of there if they don't get top 4. And these are the only 2 players he gets, and they finish like 6th or something. He'll be out of there.
Yeah, they've got all those games in hand, but I can't see them winning them. I just really can't.
Just one more thing on Tottenham before we move on, though. There was that non-league player that they agreed a fee for, turned him down because he couldn't agree personal terms either. One more laugh.
Tottenham and a gift that just keeps on giving.
Just had to drop that in there.
Who else done? Wait, quickly. Do you lot think Aston Villa done the best business so far? Obviously, tomorrow's the last day. But yeah,
probably. Yeah, probably.
Rob,
depends if Newcastle, move crazy. Guimaraes is a good signing for them. If they can get another 2 or 3 in.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him actually. You wanted him. You wanted him, right, Arsenal?
move on.
Guimaraes or Burns?
Rob just reminded me because I was when Newcastle when they accepted the bid for Newcastle, the first thing that came to my mind was Ham, because I know that that's the player that you wanted for Arsenal, but.
Eddie wanted him. I've never actually seen a player play. Eddie wanted him. So Eddie was talking about him, but apparently we don't want to pay the price that Leon quoted the player was too high or something like that, bro.
Okay.
That's some nonsense. But yeah, so Newcastle have got Kieran Trippier in, Chris Wood, Bruno Guimaraes, but Daniel Byrne from Brighton.
Burns, his bid has been accepted today.
Yeah, so they got so maybe they've got the best window, not Villa then.
Yeah. But it's just whether it keeps them up or not.
Yeah, I know, but we're just saying in terms of the players they brought in for what they needed, do you think they've had the best window?
Yeah.
I think they've brought in enough to keep them up, in all honesty.
I thought they were staying up because I knew they were going to do this, innit? They were going to have to buy in January. Who's going down is easy for me. Burnley, Norwich, Watford. See you later, bro. With my man. What's his name, Rob? The 24-year-old? Nigerian? Ade and Tommy's cousin. What's his name?
I don't recognize a 24-year-old, but I think they signed a 74-year-old called Callum.
That picture is horrific. As soon as I saw the picture, I was like, surely he's not any younger than 40. Like, that face has seen decades.
That face has seen life. That face has seen life.
Different seasons, the winter, the summer, over and over again.
He's gone through baby mama drama. He's gone through bailiff chasing him. He's gone through not having the right papers. He's seen life.
He looks like he went through school with Roy Hodgson.
At least you pick a year or an age that people won't like. Even if they laugh, they won't go to town.
But what age would you have said that we won't laugh at it? The most you would say is he's 28, 29. You would have still laughed at him. If you said he's 28, 29.
Maybe even 31, 32, I'd have still laughed because that face looks as if he's weathered. He's weathered a bit. So nice. I want to see it because you see players like this and you want to see how long they last.
Yeah.
But Watford don't buy players to improve themselves most of the time.
Nah.
I think they bought a left back. Was it Saber?
I think all the players they bought this window have been African players.
Yeah. Mate, the left back they bought, I watched him against Norwich. He just kept fouling like every minute, literally every minute. And the tackles were like, if I could like call one of my mates, my cousins that doesn't play football and stick them at left back, how I can imagine it.
Wait,
like,
no, Ade.
Boris Johnson at left back.
He was tackling as if he was in the AFCON.
But effectively. But it was just so bad. I'm like, why do you continue to buy these players that are just going to give away penalties and not improve your team? But that family, they've decided how they want to run that team, and we leave them to it.
Yeah, good luck to them. Who else has done business though? Has anyone else done business that's of note that we need to talk about? I know Everton might be getting Donny and Van der Beek.
Yeah, that's it.
Which would be good. Which would be good for them.
I think the two main clubs. City. Oh, Man City don't. Well, the River Plate player. What's his name?
Yeah, Alvarez.
Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on him since the beginning of the season because I've kept hearing good things. Obviously, didn't want him to go to Man City, but it would be interesting to see how he steps up. Because sometimes you need that transition to a league like the Premier League coming straight from Argentina. But yeah, it'll be quite interesting.
Just going back a step though, I did mention Donny going to Everton. They're finally going to have a new manager now. Should be unveiled tomorrow. What are we saying about Super Frank? Rob shaking his head, so we're going straight to Rob. Rob shaking his head. Rob, what are you saying, bro? If he doesn't do well at Everton, he can come to QPR.
Nonsense. Why is that man walking into a half-decent Premier League job? So he goes into Derby and he gets less points than Wayne Rooney with a team of like pensioners and children. And then he goes to Chelsea and he does well with what's there and buys some horrific players that he has no idea how to play, gets himself sacked. What qualifications does he have? I don't understand. For me, if I was his agent, if I was Lampard's agent, as soon as he saw that Gerrard went to Villa, I would have been begging for that Rangers job so he could win a league this year and try and rebuild some sort of reputation for himself.
Oh, okay.
That would have been a nice move.
He's Lampard, so that's why he got the Everton job.
Well, it's going to be Lampard managing Everton in the Championship.
But there's not much pressure on him considering where Everton is right now. Don't you think this is probably the best time for him to go into such a job?
I think he's lucky that there's probably 3 teams worse than Everton in the Premier League that I haven't touched on earlier, right?
This is my point. This is probably the best time for him to go in. There's not much expectation. A lot of the fans' frustration are towards the board right about now. So he's probably have a bit of credit on the bank that he'll get away with it for like the first 6 months or so, as long as he keeps them up. And if he
I'd have stayed away from Everton.
And if he but Everton's they've got a bit of money to spend too. So
yeah, but they've done horrifically, right? Like the problem at Everton lies further than just the managers. Fundamentally, Everton is not set up properly. This guy's brought in money, but that money has not equated to any sort of improvement whatsoever.
We've been there.
Stay clear.
I can tell them all about it.
Yeah, out of steered clear of it. I'd have said, okay, this is a bit of a poison chalice. Maybe I'm gonna.
So, Andy, you don't think he should have got the job? No.
I don't think he should have. So I don't think he should have gotten it, but I also don't think he should have taken it. So it's on both sides. On both sides, like, yeah. But if they're just offering people jobs, then why not offer it to Lampard? But then, as Lampard, I wouldn't have taken it. I think that job's it's poison.
No, for me,
Tom, you think? Sorry.
Yeah, for me, I think one, he should have taken it, and two, I think, look, obviously, in terms of like the Derby job, he's done a decent job with Derby. But if he was to look at the points, as Rob said,
look at Rob's face.
It might not look great. It might not look great, but he got them into the playoff. Secondly, bro, we all knew he shouldn't have got to the Chelsea job. We all knew the Chelsea job was a bit too much for him. But despite what he did with Chelsea without no signing, he's got top 4. Look at Man United now with all the money we spent. We're struggling to get into the top 4. And he still got top 4 with Chelsea with no money.
During the transfer embargo.
Yeah, and where he
what's his worst aspect?
But I think where he went wrong with Chelsea, right? Yeah, but I think where he went wrong with Chelsea is those signings. And this is where his inexperience comes into place. Like, why are you signing players that you don't know how to use? So that was his biggest issue, and that was his biggest flaw. So he's gonna make that mistake because ideally we always say this: he shouldn't have been in that job in the first place. Same thing you're saying about Arteta now, like signed Pablo Mari and is not letting him go. Those managers are gonna make mistakes somewhere because they shouldn't be at this level already.
Right now
they shouldn't be at that level. But he's gone through it. He's made that mistake. We move on. And if there is the team for you, like, Everton are probably rock bottom. Look at Benitez. The fans hated him. So there will be no pressure on you to go into that job right now. I think there's more pressure on Stevie than the Lamps. So I think it's better for him to go in right now, because I'm sure, like, from Chelsea, he doesn't want to go too far backwards. Where do you want him to go? Championship? He don't want to go there because he's managed Chelsea. I think the best choice, I think Rob was right, was probably Rangers. If I was his agent, I'm going straight to Rangers. I didn't think of that now, but that's his best choice. But take Rangers aside, I wouldn't expect him to go back to the Championship now that you manage in the Premier League. So I think Everton just about right for him. I disagree with you. I think Everton just about right. Go on now.
Cool. That's like I'll give 2 flying fucks. Because you know what pisses me off about Lampard? I'm gonna say this. People are gonna hate me straight after. I hate the fact that he's in a fucking conversation with Paul Scholes and Steven Gerrard. He couldn't lace their boots. What? Because he scored bare goals. Fuck that guy, bro. Guy ain't no top midfielder. He just scored bare goals. But yeah, listen, it's Everton. It's Lamps. I'm in agreement with T in this one in saying that Everton are 16th in the league. And Lamps was always going to come back to the Premiership. The name alone, like you said, Ade, was always going to guarantee him a Premiership job. Everton are 16th. They got shitloads of money. Decent footballers. They play shit football right now. They're rock bottom, like T said. All he has to do is give them a 20% increase in how they play, how they set up, and get a few results and finish 12th this year. And then go again, and the pressure will be on him to go again next year and do better than that next year because they got the money and obviously they can sign decent players. So, like I said, all the best to him. Don't really get too flying fucks. I'm not a massive fan of Frank Lampard like that anyway. But yeah, man. Rob, love you, man. Thanks for coming on, man. Thanks for coming on.
Just the last, anything you got for us, Rob? Just last 30 seconds or so before we jump off. Any questions from one of us?
Yeah, so I guess for you and for Addy, seeing Diallo's debut for Rangers, did you see much of it? He obviously scored, and there was quite a few nice touches and turns.
Yeah, I saw that, but that's Scotland. It's all right.
So I think that answers my question. My question was going to be, do you think he can come back and actually challenge for a place in the team next season? But I guess you think he's a bit far away.
From the games I've seen, I think the game is just a quick one. The games I've seen him play, my problem with him is the physicality of the game. So I didn't think Scotland's going to help him. He should have gone to the Championship. I think his issue was the physicality. He couldn't handle it. Like, it's skillful. Technically it's quite good, but I think he struggles with the physicality of the Premier League or even in the Champions League. When I